Michael's Dangerous Game, a battle between the Abbotts and Newmans in the world of the young and the restless. Michael Corinthos is no stranger to navigating murky waters, but his latest scheme against the formidable Victor Newman puts him in a perilous position. In a bold and seemingly reckless move, Michael decides to take matters into his own hands, conspiring in the shadows against one of the most powerful men in Genoa City. As he secretly works against Victor, Michael knows that his actions carry immense risks, but the stakes have never been higher. The tension between the Abbott and Newman families is at an all-time high, and Michael feels cornered, torn between allegiances, and desperate for a way out. His plan to disrupt Victor's empire could very well backfire, and the consequences of his defiance could be catastrophic. However, Michael isn't alone in his struggle. His wife, Lauren Fenmore, has always been a voice of reason, a guiding force in his life. But as Michael becomes more embroiled in his dangerous gambit, their relationship faces strain. Lauren, ever the pragmatist, grows increasingly alarmed by the reckless path Michael has chosen. Their interactions grow increasingly tense, with Lauren raising alarms about the trouble Michael is courting. She knows better than anyone the wrath of Victor Newman. "I don't like this, Michael," Lauren warns with mounting concern. Her voice trembles, not from fear of the idea but from the recognition of the risks Michael is willing to take. "You're playing a game that's too dangerous. You're putting us all at risk." To Michael, however, the battle against Victor is more than just a personal vendetta. It's about ensuring that the Abbotts don't lose out in the power struggle that dominates their lives. His family's future, and perhaps the future of Jabot, is on the line. But Michael's desperate desire to protect his loved ones blinds him to the full scope of danger he is courting. He truly believes that his actions, though audacious, are necessary for the greater good. "I know you're worried," Michael reassures her, "but I'm doing what I have to do to protect us, to protect everything we've built. We're stuck between two powerful forces, Victor and Jack, and I'm trying to find a way through it." Yet Lauren's response is far from comforting. She knows Victor, she understands his ruthlessness, and she knows that any misstep could bring down the full force of the Newman Empire on them both. Lauren's frustration mounts as she sees Michael pushing forward despite the imminent threat. "You can't take on Victor like this, Michael," she warns. "He will destroy you. And when he finds out what you've been doing," her words hang in the air like a heavy warning. It's clear that Lauren fears for Michael's safety, for their family, and for the future they've worked so hard to build. "When Victor finds out what you've done, you'll regret it," she states sharply, her voice edged with an urgency that Michael cannot ignore. "And you will pay the price. I'm telling you this for your own good." For Michael, though, there's no turning back. His plan is already in motion, and he feels as though he has no other choice. In the cutthroat world of Genoa City, where family loyalty and business rivalry collide at every turn, Michael believes he's fighting for something greater than himself. But Lauren's warning is impossible to shake off. Victor's retaliation will be swift, brutal, and unrelenting. The seasoned businessman has never taken kindly to betrayal, especially when it involves his family or the future of Newman Enterprises. Victor's arrogance is well known. He believes himself to be the most knowledgeable, the most calculating, and the most invincible player in the game. He won't tolerate any interference, especially not from someone like Michael, who, in his eyes, is meddling in matters far beyond his control. As far as Victor is concerned, Michael's actions are nothing short of treasonous. If Michael is successful, he could disrupt not only Victor's hold on his empire but also his ability to control every aspect of Genoa City's business landscape. For Victor, there can be no compromise. "You think you can take me down, Michael?" Victor would scoff, his voice laced with disdain. "You're nothing compared to me. I built this empire. I will destroy anyone who tries to tear it down, especially you." As the plan unfolds, Michael continues to push forward, determined to outmaneuver Victor at any cost. His strategy is daring, but it's also fraught with holes, and one wrong move could end everything. But Michael knows the game, and he knows that sometimes you have to take risks in order to come out on top. Meanwhile, Lauren's skepticism grows, and her trust in Michael's judgment begins to erode. You can't go after Victor this way, she says, her voice filled with both disbelief and frustration. You're playing with fire. You're going to burn everything down, including yourself. But Michael, despite the growing storm around him, remains steadfast in his resolve. He knows that in the battle between the Abbotts and Newmans, there's no room for hesitation. He's convinced that by taking action now, he can tip the scales in the Abbott family's favor, ensuring a brighter future for everyone involved. Yet as the days pass, the weight of Lauren's words presses on him. His conviction falters, and the reality of what he's up against starts to sink in. Victor's response will be swift and brutal, and Michael can only hope that his calculated risks will lead to a victory for the Abbotts. But one thing is certain, the cost of crossing Victor Newman will be far greater than Michael ever anticipated. As the stakes continue to rise, the question remains, will Michael's gambit pay off, or will Victor's wrath destroy everything he holds dear? The answer may lie in Michael's ability to outthink and outmaneuver the most powerful man in Genoa City, or it may be the undoing of everything he's worked so hard to protect. In the end, Michael's choice to battle Victor head-on will change the course of his life forever, and Lauren will be left wondering if there's any way to stop the damage before it's too late. But in a world where power and loyalty often clash, the price of defying a man like Victor Newman may be a price Michael is unwilling, or unable, to pay. Phyllis and Billy, the tension that could shatter their relationship in The Young and the Restless. In the world of The Young and the Restless, family loyalty and business decisions often collide in explosive ways. The tension between Phyllis Summers and Billy Abbott is a perfect example of this conflict. Their recent clash over a decision about Abbott Communications threatens not only their professional relationship but also their personal bond. It all begins with Phyllis's unwavering decision to bring Daniel Romalotti Jr. into Abbott Communications, a move that both Billy and Daniel are less than thrilled with, setting the stage for a showdown that could change everything for the characters involved. Phyllis's insistence on hiring Daniel is a sticking point that Billy cannot ignore. The idea itself isn't just about hiring a family member, but the fact that Phyllis is acting independently without consulting Billy, who is also a part of the Abbott family. Her determination to move forward with this plan is driven by her belief in Daniel's potential. After all, he is a part of her family. However, what Phyllis fails to see is that Billy does not share her enthusiasm. He sees the decision as impulsive and potentially damaging to the already fragile structure of Abbott Communications. As the conversation between Billy and Phyllis escalates, the frustration is palpable. Billy, ever the businessman, tries to reason with Phyllis, pointing out that Daniel's interest in working for Abbott Communications has waned, and it's not just about family connections, it's about doing what's best for the company. Phyllis, however, is unwavering. She doesn't understand why Billy is pushing so hard against something that feels like a family-oriented decision, one that she believes could benefit both Daniel and the company in the long run. Why can't you just let me make this decision? Phyllis snaps at Billy, her voice tinged with frustration. I don't understand what the problem is. Daniel would be great for Abbott Communications. Billy's response is calm, but firm, a sign that he is not about to back down. He's already aware that Daniel doesn't want the job, and he's worried that Phyllis's determination is going to complicate things even further. Phyllis, you don't get it, Billy counters. I've asked you to let it go, but you're making this personal. This isn't about Daniel. It's about Abbott Communications, and we can't afford any more distractions. You're forcing me into a corner. The tension builds, and Phyllis becomes defensive, unwilling to back down from her stance. She feels her integrity being questioned, but Billy's refusal to compromise pushes her further into a corner. She begins to question if Billy is simply resisting change or if he is undermining her ability to make decisions within the company. For Phyllis, this decision is not just about hiring Daniel, it's about standing up for her own vision and proving that she can make moves that benefit the business. Billy, on the other hand, is tired of Phyllis's defiance. He knows the stakes are high for Abbott Communications, and he doesn't want to risk everything for a decision that could ultimately harm the company. His business acumen leads him to believe that this isn't a choice he can afford to make. The fact that Daniel himself isn't interested in the position only adds to Billy's conviction. In a pivotal moment, Billy delivers an ultimatum that changes everything. If you can't let this go, Phyllis, I don't know if I can work with you anymore. This is the last straw. You either drop this idea, or we're done. Phyllis is stunned. Her business relationship with Billy has always been complicated, but she never expected him to go so far as to threaten to sever their professional ties. For a moment, there's silence between them, the weight of Billy's words hanging heavily in the air. Phyllis, never one to back down easily, is caught between her desire to assert herself and the reality of losing her place in the company. What does that even mean, Billy? Phyllis asks, her voice barely above a whisper, as she processes the full extent of his ultimatum. Her eyes narrow, searching his face for any sign of doubt, but Billy's expression is resolute. It means I can't work with you if you're going to keep pushing forward with this, Billy says, his voice hardening. This isn't about you and me anymore. This is about the future of Abbott Communications. I won't let you jeopardize it. For Phyllis, this is a breaking point. She is forced to confront the reality that her actions may have gone too far. Billy, her business partner, and someone she has worked alongside for years, is now threatening to cut ties with her over this one decision. The thought of losing everything she's worked for, especially in such a personal way, is a harsh reality that Phyllis can't ignore. With Billy's ultimatum on the table, the future of their partnership, and possibly their personal relationship, is in jeopardy. If Phyllis doesn't back down, she may find herself out of the job she's worked so hard for. But if she does back down, she risks losing her sense of agency, especially in a company that has always been a battleground of family loyalty and business strategy. As the episode unfolds, viewers are left wondering, will Phyllis stand her ground, risking everything for a family decision she believes in? Or will she choose to keep her place in Abbott Communications and back away from the decision that has caused so much tension? Meanwhile, Tessa and Mariah's storyline provides a much-needed emotional reprieve, though the impending crisis between Phyllis and Billy lingers in the background. Tessa, ever the supportive partner, senses that something is wrong, even before Mariah opens up about the bad news that has her so upset. Mariah's anxiety is palpable, and as she shares the troubling news with Tessa, it becomes clear that the couple is about to face a crisis of their own. This subplot adds an emotional depth to the week's drama, as viewers are drawn into the lives of the characters and the personal struggles they must face, alongside the professional dilemmas that threaten to tear their worlds apart. Phyllis's refusal to back down may be her downfall, or it may turn out to be the spark that ignites a major shift in her dynamic with Billy. One thing is for sure, the tensions are high, and the consequences of these decisions will not be easily undone. The relationship between Phyllis and Billy may never be the same again, and as the battle for control over Abbott Communications continues, so too does the battle for power, loyalty, and respect within the Abbott family.